We are live. Hello, everyone. I'm Patrick Larissa
Hi,
from
Paul.
Avenue 912. We are back for our second podcast. I think that's what the kids call it now. And we are happy to be able to bring you this again. And just a little bit about ourselves. I'm Patrick. I'm one of the owners of Avenue 912. We have a couple of other owners that we did not get to meet last time, and we still won't meet them today. But in the future, we will hopefully bring on Jack Haviland, who is one of the owners, as well as Tony Hobson. Larissa is our party liaison and our bar manager, and Larissa's in charge of quite a few things. You want to tell us what you're in charge of?
Yeah,
Pretty
yeah.
much everything.
I do some of the private events coordination, any of the parties, private parties, events that we host here. Once the event gets booked, then you deal with me. I'm your point of contact going forward in terms of any vendor meetings, planning, time, contract, stuff like that. How you want your layout to be, any questions that you have about the facility. I'm the person that you talk to, text with, call, all that good stuff.
Yes, she is. She is the party liaison. So, anytime you need somebody to make your party go smooth, it's Larissa. Um, and we can move on to our upcoming shows. You see the scroll on the bottom that we have some upcoming shows available. Also, going to bring up our calendar. This weekend we have a big weekend. We have Jump. It's the Van Halen tribute band, obviously, and we have with One Up. One Up is one of our friends, and they are a '90s tribute band, which we love. They're a local band, and then along with Jump, which a special guest is the lead singer of Jump. He'll be joining us here pretty soon. He is in the green room, and we actually have him in the green room this time instead of unlike last week where we had to stop the show in order to get Don back on. But he is in the green room. I can see him right there.
Confirmed.
It is
In the
confirmed.
green
Very
room.
excited about that. Also, we have Blacken and with Made in America, Made in Chicago. Blacken is a Metallica cover band, and they are fantastic. They bring it. They really, really rock. Made in Chicago, Iron Maiden cover band. They're going to be opening up for Blacken. So if you like it loud, this weekend's for you. This weekend is definitely for you. Next, we have on the docket, we have Rocky Horror Picture Show. So we have the Rocky Horror Picture Show on Thanksgiving. So it is a special show. It's a Thanksgiving show. Have some dinner with your family. Come on out and
Yeah, come after
come
dinner.
after dinner.
It's
Yeah,
a later show, so
yeah. It says 6 p.m., but I don't believe it's 6 p.m. I believe
I
it's
think
8
it's
p.m.
8. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'll have to change that the
Oops.
next time. Yeah, that's a little bit of an oops. Then we go on with 16 Candles again with One Up. One Up's got a couple times going to be playing at our place. We love One Up, and 16 Candles is a an '80s band out of Chicago, the Chicagoland area, and of course every time they're here, they fill the house, and it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
You want to take the next couple?
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't want to talk all the time.
So after that is Leonard Skinner with Automatic Noise. I saw Automatic Noise at the
Rock the
yeah,
Vets.
Rock the Vets. They
Yeah,
were wonderful.
yeah,
Yeah.
good people.
Yeah.
So again, One Up was one of our at Rock the Vets. They played
Yes.
Rock the Vets.
Yeah.
Automatic Noise played Rock the Vets. We love helping people that help others, and that's one of. I told you that last time. That's one of the creeds that we have is like, look, we want to be a charitable organization and give back to the people that need help. But in order to do that, we also have to stay in business. So it's a fine line, but just know that we do. We do want to give back, and one way we can do that is with as the next one. I think on the stock it is the We Ride Bingo for Riley's Children's Hospital. We Ride is a very charitable organization that does great things for Riley's Children's Hospital, and all money that they collect there at the door goes to the hospital. So again, us giving a little bit back. Hopefully, it goes to, well, we know it goes to a good cause, but hopefully it helps out some children that are in need.
also about that,
Yeah.
we're in talks of a potential Bloody Mary bar.
We
for
are.
that. Yes.
That's news.
Yes.
Breaking news. I didn't even know that.
Yes, in talks of a potential Bloody Mary bar, maybe some mimosas. We do have mimosas all the time anyway available.
Yep.
But that's an earlier afternoon, so.
Yeah, and then we have that's great. That's good to know. We have Funny Girl Karaoke. Our favorite Tiffany is back. It's free to the public. She's going to be here on Wednesday the 6th, which is a good time for everybody. Everybody that comes, they enjoy it. They get to come up, get on the big stage. They get to be the rock star themselves, and it's a wonderful time. Everybody's encouraging. If you stink, you stink, but nobody says you stink. Everybody says you're great, which is nice. But I still won't sing.
I do
Larissa
sometimes.
does.
Yeah, I do
Larissa
from
does.
time to time. Yeah, and I stink. So.
No, that's absolutely not true. And then we have Small Town, which is Doug Clapp's band. We're going to have Doug on our next podcast. I didn't even tell you.
Cool.
So Doug will be joining us on our next podcast. We'll let you know. I believe it's going to be next Monday, but I have to confirm it with him. Then, of course, we have Breakfast with Santa. I'm not going to go through all of them. The one I do want to highlight is our Toys for Tots. The Toys for Tots is on December 9th. That is, again, we're a charitable organization as well. We are for profit. I'm not saying we're not, but we do like to do things for charities. Toys for Tots is just what it says. You bring a toy, you get in free. You're going to see some really great talent on the stage that night. Nate Venarelli, which, of course, everybody's heard of Nate around this particular area. Yeah. He just won another Josie Award for Best Male Artist of the Year, which is unbelievable. And then we have Kevin Friend will be there, and Grindstone, and a couple other bands. We'll get to them a little bit later next podcast. And then the last thing I wanted to mention is the Echoes of Christmas. And I got to say the Echoes of Christmas because, that's they're working really hard. It's the Echoes of Pompeii and Mr. Funnyman. If you haven't seen their video, they released a video, All I Want for Christmas. Some people love that song.
Me. Love it.
Some people
never get sick of it.
Some people get tired of it. If you like that song, go to their Facebook page, and they have All I Want for Christmas sung by Tiffany and the rest of the gang. It is wonderful.
So good. So, yeah, I had chills.
Yeah, it was. We played it on the big screen out there.
Yeah.
I showed it to you, and your little girl out there was having a good time. So with that said, we do want to welcome Michael Steffen, and Michael is going. I think it's Steven, isn't it? I think I butchered it. It's Michael Steven. I did. I butchered it. Sorry. I'm sorry. But we will get to him in just a second. However, I wanted to play this little clip.
To be wearing spandex and ripping off an 80s cover band, and I said, hell yeah, it's cheesy, but you know what? Your mom loves it. Hands up!
Further ado,
Michael. How you doing, Steven? Michael Steven? I'm sorry about that, buddy.
Not a big deal, man. It happens all the time. Actually, for some reason there's a guy that he'll like frequently call me Steven, and I'm like, well, my name is still Michael, but it's okay. It's I say it in the same context as I would like my hair. I've always said, like, I know who I am, so it doesn't matter what other people think, whether it's this tribute band or, like I say, I've like ordered drinks at a restaurant before, and I'm looking the other way, and they go, "Excuse me, ma'am, can I take your order?" And I go, "Well, yes, of course you can." And they go, "Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry." And I'm like, if I was that worried about it, I'd cut my hair. I don't. It doesn't bother me at all. So
that's good. I get it.
Yeah, you got our brand new photo from this weekend out in Lowell, Massachusetts on there.
Is that where it's from? Okay. I pulled it off your Facebook page today. I didn't realize that was from the most recent show.
Fresh off the press Saturday night, and brand new banner in the backdrop. 20 foot tall, 30 foot wide.
Holy
Um,
smokes.
yeah,
Nice.
we're I love that picture. That was my buddy John Fleischman from John F Media at John F Media on Instagram and TikTok, and then John Fleischman Media. It's a very German last name, Fleischmann, Fleischman, just like mine. Mine's technically Neumann. It's also a German last name. So
Oh, there you go.
yeah,
I
John
know
shot
that.
that for us. And
Yeah, awesome picture. I mean, you could obviously tell you got some hops to you.
Yeah, when you were talking about the measurements of the backdrop, everything, I was like, I wonder how high he's jumping.
Yeah, well, I mean, you did that almost, well, obviously you do that jump quite a bit at one of your shows, and you did that the last time you were here. I believe it was in February, and I have a picture of it. I'm like, holy smokes! I happened to catch it almost at the exact same time, but my camera was not nearly as cool as this one. This was a great shot.
I remember one of the shots we got back in February when we first came to 912 was we didn't have a drum riser at the time. We do now, so we'll actually be bringing a drum riser in for your stage this time. But it was funny because last time I was going off of like my launch box, which is really only about a foot and a half tall, whereas I generally, like on a drum riser, I'm usually at least 3 or 3.5 feet off the ground before I start. So from like the bottom of my, I guess like in this picture, this drum riser was a little lower, but from the bottom of my like thighs, I guess down to the ground is probably at least 6.5, maybe 7 feet, I would say. Of course, I've come off of a little bit higher, but I kind of stopped doing that because I realized, as cool as it is and as much as it's fun, I am almost 30 and my kids are not going to tolerate that forever, but yeah, I'm kind of all over the place now. I forget what we were even talking about, but
no, we're literally talking about the jump. So
yeah.
The last time you were here, it was crazy. I couldn't believe it. I also know that you, I think Larissa got a question for you. She had a question at the very beginning.
Yeah. Just after we, watched the clip, and even you mentioning now that, you're almost 30. So what, I guess, are hot moms really like the inspiration behind?
How did you get inspired to do this?
Was that the inspiration?
That's so. Oh well. Okay. So hot moms. I realized part of what I was telling you with that picture was at 912 is one of the first times I ever jumped off our base cabinets, which are about 4.5 feet tall. Gotcha. So I was definitely probably 7 feet in the air, and one of the guys in the crowd got a cell phone shot of me like way up above the cabinets, and it was hilarious. I still could probably find it if I scrolled back in my photos. I'll just poke around for a second while I'm answering the question. So no, originally hot moms, though they are awesome and that we enjoy them, were not the original foundation for starting this band. Long story short, here, look at this. Here we are getting dressed at 912.
Oh,
hey, it's right over there.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Now I'm totally convinced that, right here, this is it. Whoops. Let me see.
Sorry. Just, I'm going to try to get you on camera by yourself if I can. I don't know if I can.
There you go. Whoops. So
you are up there. That's my picture. That's the one I took.
Is it you? Was this you?
I got that picture here too.
Oh, there you go. Perfect. Well, that's it.
That's crazy. Yeah.
So,
that was
it. Took. But no, the original. I mean, so I guess to give you kind of a snapshot of my music career, I got out of high school and I was working a marketing job, and I had a little local band going, and I played drums. Found out this band that had some momentum. I knew who they were. I liked their music and everything. They were looking for a drummer, and I thought, well, what the heck? Like, I'll go try out, see what comes of it. Well, tried out for that band, immediately started going out on the road with them, and I did probably like 14 tour schedules with them or so, and probably like 38 states or so. And then I was hired on by another band from Delaware called Awake at Last. My first band was called Hour 24. We still have stuff on like Apple Music, Spotify, all that stuff. But then got hired by a friend's band called Awake at Last, and I played drums for them on a 6-week West Coast tour. And then they hired me for some Canadian dates as well. So that was how that all started. And then when my last band kind of came to a conclusion, it was a pretty devastating situation, just because it felt like kind of, all right, man, this is over. Like such a huge chapter in my life, right in my young adult years. And so I took a year and a half off. Crazy enough, I met my wife at our last show for Hour 24, and it would have been about, let me see, so that would have been 2017, June of 2017, followed around almost 2 years. It was over a year and a half that I took off of music to start my media company. And in April of 2019, I had played a cover show, playing drums again for another group, and we had done a few different cover shows. And after that one, it was just really sentimental to me because we played some music that I really loved, and I thought, man, I left something that was like a part of me, and I really can't see my life. I really just can't see my life without it. I mean, that's what this is what I was really meant to do, not necessarily be in a tribute band, but be on stage, be an entertainer. I've always played in band, marching band, choir, ensemble. I always tell people this is a joke I make live on stage, but it's not even a story. It's the actual truth. I was a C average student in high school. I graduated with a 2.9998. So I was.
But you graduated, hey.
What's that?
You graduated though. I mean,
I did, yeah, but I was like, what, 2/1000ths of a point away from a 3.0. So either way, the only college offer that I was ever given was to a theater program, to a really nice college in Michigan, but I ended up passing on that. And like I say, I started touring pretty quickly out of high school. And so with this, I had always wanted to try being a frontman or singing, or or whatever you want to call that, but I never really knew where my voice fit in, especially just being a drummer. It was just kind of like, it felt like that was who I was. A friend of mine, Cody Sizemore, actually pitched me this idea at brunch the next day after this cover show that we played. It was April 13 of 19, and we went to brunch in Lambertville, Michigan, and I said, man, I got to get back into music. I don't really write, but I need to be on stage. And he's like, man, start a tribute band. Admittedly, I kind of like blew it off. I just said, not really my thing. Feels cheesy. That, I mean, I said it myself. And I used to not love tributes, but I agreed. I just said, okay, if you help me put the band together, I'll do it. And just because I'm not one to kind of turn down an opportunity. And I said, let's see what happens, man. If we're going to do this, let's do it for real. So I started to slowly put a band together. And that summer I had watched a band that I had seen several times called Get the Let Out. And I had seen them, but it never meant as much to me as when I seen them after I started. I was Lowell this weekend, out in Boston, or out in Boston area, just north of Boston. But I had seen Get the Let Out, and the singer said something really profound for my circumstance. He goes, not everyone agrees or understands why we play tribute music, and not everyone understands why there's 6 of us on stage when we play Led Zeppelin. But what we are here to do is bring you a very audibly authentic experience, because people want to hear that music. People want to hear these amazing bands from the past like resonate through the live system, and they want to be able to just feel that music, the kick drum in their chest. That live music is a different experience than music videos or whatever. And no matter who wants to say what, or haters on social media or anything like that, that is just true. And I can prove it, because look around and watch all of the tribute shows that are selling out or doing really well, or some of the great tribute bands that are becoming really successful doing it. Tell people all the time, like, you don't step into any form of music and just say, I'm here to make money. Yes, sure, some artists will say that, but if you start music on the strictly on the premise of making money, chances are you're going to fail really, really quickly because it's one of the hardest industries to break. And so you have to have passion behind your product, even that if that means you're playing covers. And that's something that I've really tried to instill with our guys. And oh, did I lose you guys?
Nope, we're still here. I just
Oh,
put you on by yourself.
I just, it's one of those things that I try to instill that into the culture of our guys here is, if we're not here to love what we do and give people that feeling as well that they love being here with us, then, what are we really doing? So that was kind of how everything started. And really, we played our first show. We just started putting the band together, learning music. We played our first show December 13th of 2019. That was with Thunderstruck, America's AC/DC. They're phenomenal guys. They're a phenomenal AC/DC tribute. If you have not seen them, it's absolutely worth your time and ticket cost to go check them out. They're some of our great friends. And actually, their previous singer, Dave Moody, as well as actually, all of their guys now are great friends, but I've really mentored a lot with Dave Moody, Kevin Feller, and Chris Jones. They've all kind of taken me under their wing, very specifically, and kind of helped guide me through the process. Dave Moody being a front man, he's been very instrumental in me growing as a vocalist and as an entertainer in general. He now sings for the band Hairball, which is like the Supreme Court of tribute bands. If you haven't, that's another band. If you've not heard of them or haven't seen them, if you get the opportunity, it is absolutely worth the time, energy, money to go see them. Full fire, full pyro, fireworks, multiple costume changes. They play every Platinum 80s band and they do it to the utmost extreme. It's amazing.
Good.
But originally when we played that show December 13th, I went over and I thanked the guys. In specific, I had ran into Dave and I said, hey, I'd love to do this again. He took my number almost immediately. And a month later, they came and played St. Andrews Hall in Detroit. I shot because I had a media business going at the time. I took some cameras with me. I said, if you give me a photo pass, I'll do a highlight reel and some other stuff, some photos and whatnot. So we shot some photos, we shot, video, and I sent it to them the next day, and they hired me on immediately to come out to Iowa, South Dakota. We did a couple of big venues out there. We did 20 Monroe Live in Grand Rapids, Michigan, which is a monster venue out there. And then we did House of Blues Cleveland. And we really just curated a great relationship. And they ended up eventually down the line introducing me / jump to their agent, Greg St. Charles, who's been our agent since about March of 2022, I want to say. We met in January of 22 officially and started working together a couple months later. So, and that's where everything really started coming out of COVID. We got picked up by Greg, and it's been an incredible experience, man. I mean, we went from just being kind of a local band playing the tri-state to we've done 17, 18 states. We're going to finish this year with 72 tour dates. We have stuff next year. We're booking out into the summer. Our summer's almost full. We have international dates in the works right now. I'll have more information on that later to develop on. But yeah, I mean, we've got, 2 different countries that we're working on. And we just got a new bus. We picked up a bandwagon recently.
Nice.
I mean, things are just great. I mean, the thing is actually growing almost out of control to the point where it's kind of been a little bit stressful because every time like production teams are like, I have a different stage plot. And I'm like, dude, our stage plot's changed 4 times this year because we've grown so quick.
Wow.
And it's a blessing. It's super cool, but it has been a lot.
Well, tell me about your band members. I know they're all under 30. Is that correct?
Yeah, I'm the oldest in the band, and I'm 29.
Yeah,
so I will
you have some young kids that can bring it, man. I tell you, they got a ton of energy. It's a lot of fun.
Well,
Good
that was what's that?
You guys you're some really good guys in your band. And I got to say this to everybody on our live stream. You left our back room, our green room, better than what it was when you got here. It was super clean. I'm like, did we just have a rock band in here? It was great. We really appreciated that, to be honest with you. I mean, That goes a long way with venue owners. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, I'll tell you, one of my favorite things about you saying that is, and I tell you this, again, I told you on the phone, and I'll tell you here again. I'll tell you exactly what if you ask a question, I'll answer it.
Yeah.
That is something I tell to every single venue owner, and that is something that I've instilled in every single one of our guys. And granted, sometimes we got to do a once over and check things over, but I'll tell you, I'll tell every hospitality manager at every venue we play, you're gonna not know you will not know that we're here. We've been here. The only thing you'll find is a full garbage can, and if you tell me where to take that, I'll take the garbage out too.
You're a little bit different than the original Van Halens.
Well,
With
that's
the notorious M&Ms. We just got somebody that just said no brown M&Ms. That's why.
That
So,
was that's actually on our hospitality rider as a joke. The funny part about that is that we've had numerous. My wife just walked in.
That's all right.
My cat is gonna sit here and scream for a few minutes here. Rex, that's enough. You want to come say hi or no? He's loud.
Yeah, you do.
So you like cats?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, he's a big one. Yeah. Oh, there he is. Yeah.
Now we gotta come on.
Bring him over.
Yeah,
here.
bring him on. Bring him
Bring him
on.
over here. He's a big boy. He is a big boy. Look at him.
Oh my gosh.
That is a big cat. My goodness. Oh, he's like, nope.
Oh, you say hi.
Camera shy.
Oh. Bye,
Yeah,
Rex.
he's a big like ragdoll Mancoon mix, and he's like 3 feet tall when you just stand him up, and he's a monster. He's like you'd think he's like fat, but he's like 18 pounds, 19 pounds, and he's not like obtuse size. He's just a monster cat.
Yeah.
So anyhow,
Yeah.
People are going up in the comments. Hi, Rex.
Yeah, they're like, hi Rex, hi Rex.
I mean, back on the thing is like, and I tell people this all the time, bands, promoters, anything alike. It is not the 80s anymore. And as much as I wish it was, it's not. And so people operate different. Venues are different, bands are different. And that's something where, like, again, creating culture within a business, whether it's a band, whether it's a venue, whether it's a doctor's office. I mean, it does not matter. If you're in business, culture, I was listening to Ed Milet the other day. You will never outgrow culture. To have culture within a business is one of the most important things that you can have. And so all of the guys know we leave that place better than we found it.
Yeah.
And we put the brown M&Ms on there, and we only put it on there as a joke. There's been a couple of times where I actually have felt bad because, like, the hospitality clerk was like, "I'm so sorry, I couldn't find M&Ms that didn't have the brown ones in it." And I'm like, that's a joke. It's just, I put it on there originally as a joke for our agent, and I said, "Here's our updated rider, but just to let you know, like, I'm gonna take the M&Ms off." And he goes, "No, leave that. That's hilarious, man." But yeah, and if for those of you that don't know, Van Halen had no brown M&Ms on their tech rider, specifically because they had several instances where there wasn't, that way they basically, they would know that the promoter had actually read their rider, and they could actually sustain having a band like Van Halen come through because they had one of the largest productions of their time. A really infamous or famous story by David Lee Roth was that he got pegged with $500,000 worth of damage. And what had happened, super long story short, they got there, they didn't read the rider, there were brown M&Ms. So he turned over the green room, probably cost $1,500 in damage, which obviously in 83, 84 was still significant, but $1,500, $2,000 in damage. He walked out to let the staff know, hey, you have a mess to clean up because someone didn't read the rider. When he walked out onto the stadium floor, they were rolling in a light rig that weighed 150,000 pounds or something of that nature. And as they rolled it across the floor, it sank into a brand new $500,000 stadium floor for like a basketball arena or something like that. And it ruined the brand new floor. And so that's how he got drug into that situation. And he was like, well, who am I to be impartial to a good rumor or something like that? Like, any publicity is good publicity type of mentality.
Speaking of David Lee Roth, you do resemble him. I mean, you really do. And your mannerisms on stage really, really resemble him. Love the sword. I mean, if you haven't been to a Jump concert, you're in for a treat. You really are. They not only sound like Van Halen, but they act like Van Halen on stage. They act like Van Halen.
Yep.
No, it's cool. I love that the sword when you bring that sword out and you do your
Mm-hmm.
you do your thing, and then you jump, and you got the leg kick. It's a show.
That
Definitely.
was the guy that pitched me the idea again. He told me, he said, man, you really just got to consider this because you can scream like him, you look like him, you're a martial artist, like,
Yeah.
it all makes sense, and you love Van Halen. And so that's, again, I didn't again, to clear the air, I didn't wake up one day and go, I think I'm going to make money ripping off Van Halen, Like I'm a performer, and and that's what it is. And this is just the job that I got in the industry for the time being. And I tell people this all the time. I tell them on stage, and you've heard this before, Pat. I tell people this is like going to see Mary Poppins on Broadway, just Van Halen style. And people watch Netflix, HBO all the time. They're watching actors on a screen reading from a script. That's what we're doing here. And I've told 1,000 people, you can't write something like Mary Poppins or Wizard of Oz or Wicked, Hello Dolly, any of the master, major musical productions, and not have it reproduced. Hamlet, Shakespeare, whatever, even that stuff, or Beethoven, Bach, orchestras, and not have it recreated on stage by another orchestra or another production team for, centuries or at least decades to come. And that's what these bands did. Motley Crue, Van Halen, Def Leppard, Journey, Kiss, Zeppelin. I mean, just go down the list. They wrote stuff that has effectively changed the course of music for us and the entire world, really.
Exactly. And that, and it is a tribute, right? You are a tribute band, but it is a legit tribute to the art that they created. And if you're not doing that, the artists, obviously everybody grows old, right? So they can't do it. Either they're not doing it any longer, or they're doing it, but maybe not at the same caliber as they once were. So there's a newer generation coming that's copying, but not really copying, but just performing, like you just said, doing exactly what they did, but so everybody can appreciate it that wasn't able to see them in the 80s or wasn't able to see Led Zeppelin in the 60s. That it's continuing that form of art, and it's beautiful. It's great.
Yeah. And that's and people say because we have we've been really blessed to have some great guys on our team, and we've created some really great content, and our social media platforms have really, really grown extensively over the last 10 months, really. Since last December, we've went up across the board about 60,000 followers.
Holy smoke.
When we started, I can tell you last fall, last December, we had our first Instagram reel hit 1 million views. And that we started the beginning of last December with about 1,000 likes, 1,000 followers or so, maybe like 2,000 followers on Facebook, and about 330 followers on Instagram and 0 on TikTok. Right now, since we have gotten a really good span of like viral content going, our Facebook is somewhere around 35,000 followers. Our Instagram is around 27,000 followers. And then our TikTok is around 8,000 followers, I want to say. So actually probably closer, unless my math is really whacked out of shape, probably closer to 75,000 followers in the last 10 months.
Wow. You know what? Speaking of that, for
Early.
everybody listening, please like and follow our page as well.
Yeah.
We would appreciate it. And we are going to try to continue to do this live stream with other bands as well. This is something that we thought that it might be a service to our fans that want to know, like, a little bit back behind the scenes, like what goes on with the band. How do what your name is, what you think. They like that, and I know I would like that as a person on the outside. Like, oh, you got Jump coming. Oh, you're kidding me. The lead singer is going to be on this podcast. I'm going to watch that. I want to know. So that's
Mhm.
what we're trying to do. We're trying to have a service to our fans. So
Yeah.
please like and subscribe on YouTube and on Facebook. So
Yeah.
we don't have a TikTok yet. I'm old. I got to figure that out, man.
We
I
have
don't
one,
know.
We just haven't posted.
See, I
on
need her
it.
to do it.
Yep. Yeah, you'll get there. You'll get there. It's a growing platform, and
Yeah.
fortunately, it's like it's become one of those. It's become one of those things that's kind of been like, it almost feels like a nuisance, but it's just like anything else. Like if you weren't doing that, you would be out having to run flyers to every stop and shop or video game store or venue, record store, whatever. And I used to do that. I used to run, I mean, even for Jump until I learned, more on social media, advertising and everything. I used to fly around town for our Toledo shows. And, fortunately, there is something to be said for that. I mean, obviously all of our members worked really hard to sell tickets and so forth. And we did still do some radio, some social media, some flyering, everything. But our first two hometown shows in Toledo sold out. One was at 350 tickets, and the second one, that was a smaller room. And then we bumped up to a mid-sized room, and that was at about 500 tickets is what we sold for our second one. So
now, let me ask you, are you, I've heard Toledo, Ohio, right? Or is that Michigan? I mean, I know there's a Toledo, Ohio. I know there's a Toledo, Michigan, but I heard you say something about Michigan. Where are you from? Where are you guys located?
Technically, we're all based out of Toledo, Ohio. Which actually, I got to tell you some more about the other guys as well. But I can tell you, like, for me, myself, I was born in Iowa, and I moved very quickly back to Michigan. My dad was going to school out there, and so we moved back to Michigan. And there goes the cat again. Jeez whiz.
That's all right.
Right.
So moved back to Michigan and grew up in Southeast Michigan. Our bassist was also, I can't remember exactly where he was born, but at some point he lived in like the Rochester or like suburb of Detroit area. And then his family is kind of like based out of Perrysburg-ish area, which is just outside of Toledo, Ohio now. Our guitar player, Cody, is a military brat. His dad is a career Air Force veteran. Thank you, Scott. Shout out to Scott Waddle.
Yep.
And Cody's actually lived in Alaska. He's lived in Texas. I think he's lived in another state or two, but then also in the Toledo, Ohio area. So that's where he's from. And then Eric is a Toledo native. I believe he was born right here in Toledo, and his family still lives right here in Toledo.
And you have the drummer who is very, very young drummers. He's still in the band, correct?
Oh yeah, that he's still there. He is still there. So funny enough, yes. Greg, if you're watching or if you end up watching this, I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you about it. Our agent has really pushed us to not exploit Eric's age, but we play for literally thousands of people and everybody asks.
Yeah.
It is against my ethical value to like lie about something. Even though I want the gigs, I want the good gigs. It is what it is. Yeah, he's very young. Fortunately, I got him, got him when he was very trainable and everything. And he's been an absolute monster. Yeah. And he's like a novelty item in this band. I called his dad actually originally before I hired him. And I just said, hey, you're welcome to come out here, come meet the guys. hang out with us, stop at my house, meet my wife, stop at my parents' house, meet my parents, go to our practice space, check things out, because ultimately we're not, again, contrary to, a real band, the real Van Halen, we are not on that level when it comes to partying and so forth. So it's,
You guys are very, I will say this, you were very tame in the back room. There was nothing, there was no shenanigans, there was no wild party. Everybody thinks, it's funny because everybody thinks the back room, oh my gosh, what goes on in that back room? Not much.
take a black light to the couch, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
Like, calm down.
Yeah, you guys are exceptionally young. And then we have a young guitar player out here that just is in a local AC/DC band called Bonfire. They just traveled overseas. He's very young as well. His name's Peyton. Yeah, he's really a talented guitar player, going to go places.
Awesome.
So,
Yeah.
I see his mom on this on the stream here. So she's watching in as well. But yeah.
Yeah. So
There
it's
you go.
so yes, everyone's based out of Toledo, but yeah, I mean, I'm still like a proud Michigan boy in my heart. But that's just that is what it is. But yeah, I mean, Eric's our young gun drummer. He's a super blessing, really nice kid, very directional with his playing, and very inspired by the 80s, which I love. It made him just a really obvious fit for this band. With Cody, our guitar player, he was in a band when I first met him that was really heavily inspired by Metallica. And so I always knew he was a good player, a ferocious player, but Eddie Van Halen just has a different finesse. Like a lot of guitarists. I mean, a lot of them have different finesses, but when it comes to Eddie Van Halen, I mean, he was Eddie Van Halen, period.
Right. Yeah.
That is what it is. So really tough shoes to fill, from that angle. But Cody's been really determined, and he's done a phenomenal job of stepping up to the plate. The big thing, like, even for me, I'm not even a singer by trade, but I wanted to do it, and I was bound and determined to learn how to be, and I'm an obsessive person. So like when I get hooked into something, I get intense with it, and I kind of, I'm like that, I have that personality where, like, if I'm going to do something, especially dress up in spandex and sing 80s tunes, I better be the best at it, or at least work my ass off to be the best that I can. And again, that's another situation and kind of ideology that I've tried to instill with all the guys here, is that, we move with excellence, and we perform with pride, and treat people right, be honest, and have a good time, and clean up the green room.
Right.
But
I just want to make sure that everybody knows, I did mention this on the live stream earlier, that we're going to give away 10 tickets to the show, 10 GA tickets. So we're going to give 5 pairs of 2 away to your show. All they have to do right now is send me a message on my phone, and it is my number is area code 219-680-0682. And all you have to do is, secret word is jump. I mean, I don't know where I found that word. So they got to text me the word jump, and they text me their name and their email address, and I will send them 2 free tickets to the show.
And what was your number one more time?
My number, 219. I thought I had that up there. You know what? Let me put it in the.
I was going to say, pop me on the screen. You have that ability to.
00682. There it is. It actually came up. Okay. Yep. If they want to text me that, again, the first 5 people that do get 2 free tickets to your show coming up on November 17th, which is this Friday. Doors are at 7 p.m. We are very excited to welcome Jump, and we're also very excited to welcome our local band who's going to be opening for you, One Up again.
One Up.
I think you have met the guys from One Up before. I know you met Mick Montrose.
Mick Montrose is from Misfit Cats, right?
Misfit Toys.
Misfit Toys. Misfit Toys.
Yep.
Got cats on the brain.
Got
Rex.
cats. Got
Well,
Rex on the brain.
Well, for some reason, I thought I read that we just did something, or I had someone come across my screen, cat like KATZ, and it was and honestly, for some reason, I thought it was on Mick's. I thought it was on Mick's page, but I could be totally wrong. But either way, and then before I jump ship on that topic, I'll inform you real quick on Jarrett, who is our bass player.
Sorry.
And he is, no, that's okay. That I wanted to make sure I didn't leave any of the guys out. But
Sure.
Jarrett, who's our bass player, phenomenal human being, just an A1, person in general, and one of the nicest guys and one of the most talented musicians. He's actually a schooled bass guitarist, and he has been an incredible addition to this band. He came on last July and really helped just kind of complete the cycle, or complete the circle, if you will. And it's been a pleasure getting to know him. Of course, I didn't know, we didn't really know Eric much beforehand. The only ones that kind of really knew each other were Cody and I from playing around the Toledo scene. But yeah, so that's it. And Jarrett is 26. So yeah, we're Eric's our young guy.
you even doing this, you look like and sounded like David Lee Roth. That was my era. That was definitely my era, and that little snippet right there, I'm like, oh my gosh, that's David Lee Roth.
We still love Sam. We still love Sammy. I won't say that,
but for sure, but
it's a different vibe. Every band has to grow, and apparently it wasn't going to be the right growth with Dave and Van Halen together. Who knows? But yeah, so either way, we still love Sam. We're totally a Dave era tribute. I love Dave. I think the true ultimate, Van Halen was their punky hard rock, David Lee Roth era. That was just what made them. It really was what made them what they were. And then obviously Sam's, time in the band had its place, and the music from that era was also very great. We actually have some really good friends called Right Now, a celebration of the Hagar era, and they're from Cleveland. If you're in the Cleveland area or anywhere around there, they're called Right Now. And friends of ours, Alex and Alex and Ryan, they are the operators of that band, and they've got a really cool thing going. I know they just played in Pittsburgh over the weekend, I want to say, or no, Titusville, Pennsylvania over the weekend. So great guys, great band. So if you're into the Sammy Hagar area, if you see Right Now a celebration of the Hagar era Van Halen, make sure to check them out too.
Excellent. Well, we really appreciate you jumping on. We're going to jump off here pretty soon, but is there anything else that you wanted to say? Because again, thank you so much for coming on. We really appreciate it. And I know our fans really appreciate that you come on and tell them what's up. So,
I enjoy talking to the people, and I enjoy meeting people at shows. It's really, that's one of the biggest blessings of being in this career path is being able to have an impact and give people an experience, and then also be able to meet them and, make their night, have them, get the nostalgia rush, bring up some memories. I've had several people bring their kids out that are huge Van Halen fans but they're 8, 10, 12 years old. We had people over the weekend, kids coming up their very first concert.
Yeah.
And we were that band.
Good point. I'm glad you mentioned that, because it is an all ages show. We're not a typical bar. We do have bars here, don't get me wrong, but we're not a typical bar. We're a venue. So we do allow under, they don't have to be 21 years old in order to come to a show. For the most part, there's some shows that will specify they're 21 and over, but this is not one of them. So if you do have a 16, 15-year-old kid that loves Van Halen, that wants to see a show, yeah, come on out. Yeah. It'll be fun. It will be fun.
Yep. So, well, I appreciate you guys having us back and having me come on to chat with people, and I'm happy to do it in the future. And we are really looking forward to coming out this weekend. We'll be out there in our brand new rig. Our new bus is coming with us, so
Nice.
we're pumped about that. And we are we even have some friends coming out, and they asked, they're like, oh yeah, will we be able to see you? But beforehand, I said Avenue 912 has one of the nicest green rooms you could ask for. You guys have a ton of space in there, comfy couches, everything. I'm like, come out and hang out.
We're in the green room.
Oh, there you are. Yeah, look at that. There it is. Yep.
There you go. Yeah. So,
So you're over in front of the mirrors.
Well,
Good
yeah.
lighting.
We have the mirrors right here in front of. Yeah, we have some lighting here. So I need all the help I can get. Larissa, the beautiful Larissa, she doesn't need any help.
That's my spot in front of the mirror, so I can sit there and use my hair up. So,
Yes.
Love it.
but
This is also our bridal suite. It's not only our green room, but it's also a bridal suite. So the brides really enjoy this beautiful mirror. I'm not going to show you because it doesn't reflect, but we have a wall of mirrors with lights, and so they like that.
Bring your hair and makeup team on wedding day.
Or when we had the Kiss, we've had a couple Kiss tribute bands here, and my goodness, they
Did not leave the green room as clean as.
yeah, exactly. The green room was not left as clean. Let's just say that. So that's all. They had a lot of makeup. Anyways, we'll see you on Friday at 7 p.m. November 17th. We look forward to seeing you, and rock on, buddy.
yes, indeed. Thanks, Pat. Thanks,
All right,
Larissa.
take care.
Appreciate you guys. We'll see you
Bye
then.
now.
We'll see you on Friday. Bye-bye.
All right.
Bye.
All right. So thank you everyone for tuning in and staying with us. That was a long podcast. I don't know how long, but it was long. Michael was fantastic. We loved having him on. If you have any, unfortunately, I wasn't able to see the questions. They're on the right-hand side of the screen today. I should have been over there. Larissa's not doing her job.
Well, I didn't want to
these
interrupt.
questions.
I did want to wish them happy birthday.
Oh,
but
there's
I
some
also-
happy birthday. I see. I couldn't even read the comments. We love when you do comment. We do appreciate it.
Yeah.
And we do love our fans. And I'm sorry that I didn't even respond to anybody on the comments. It's just because I couldn't see them.
Christopher, happy birthday.
There you go.
His birthday today.
Well, happy birthday, Christopher.
58 years young.
I hope to see you on Friday.
And there's
because
one
it's good.
more. Lorraine Campbell.
Lorraine? Is it
Yeah.
her birthday?
Are celebrating on Friday.
Celebrate.
right?
Oh, nice. Celebrating Friday.
Yes,
Good.
those
We'll
are
see you then,
yes.
Lorraine.
I do read the comments. I just don't like to interrupt.
yes.
But yes, we appreciate all of the feedback. So much positive feedback on here. Cannot wait for Friday.
Yeah, and again, please like and subscribe. I think our YouTube has like 1 subscriber, so we're kind of trying to get that up there. Again, we are a mom and pop shop, right? There's 3 people here, myself, 3 owners, myself, Jack Haviland, and Tony Hobson. We're doing this as a family. We want to make this business grow. We know that we can bring some really talented artists to Northwest Indiana, and we're doing it. And we really are enjoying your support, and we really want to thank you. Larissa's doing a fantastic job here. All of our staff is doing a great job. We have talented bartenders, talented bussers, talented people working the door. So we want to put a shout out to all of our employees as well. We think of them as family. So hopefully we can see you soon.
Yeah.
Anything else, Larissa?
I don't think so.
You sure?
That's all.
All right.
I think so.
All right. We're going to end the live stream here. And again, thanks a lot. And we'll see you Friday and Saturday. Blackened is a great band as well with Made in Chicago. All right. Take care, everyone. Have a good night.
Good night.